redistricting Tennessee June.
Yeah.
First day.
That's probably it right there, Mike, yeah.
I didn't see some.
I did. You did all right.
Matt.
Good call, man. Good to see you,
Nice
bud.
to meet you.
Good to meet you too, bud.
Gentlemen, are y'all ready for us to get started doing a little preliminary?
Just about, we're probably about 5 minutes and we'll be ready to go.
Okay, well, we'll just give you as much time as you need.
Trying to adjust it. Everybody see that okay?
Oh, we don't have to read that in the list.
We have a little tiny print here. And
Hey, what do you think, Mike?
yeah, can you enlarge it on this side? Is that it?
Yeah, I think we could, but if they can see it, that's, I guess we
I'm
can
just
put it
thinking
on
of the map. Go ahead.
Oh, for your map?
Yeah.
You wanna try the map, see how it looks like first?
Hey, Matt, you wanna pull your chair and sit up here at the table?
We make
Or you scoot down?
I'm smaller than he is.
Sorry, Jim. Oh, it's a little dark house too.
We're gonna take about 5-10 minutes, just go over some little bit of education stuff. Anybody went to it 10 years ago? You don't, I don't think anybody here. Yeah, I know Donald.
I'm green.
Yeah. I know, I found out.
Not to sweat too much, cause I said green.
10 years ago, I thought when I came up, you only had to have one census block, y'all need, but little did I know. I thought that's gonna be the easiest county I get to work with, but,
Yeah,
Mike, this is gonna be big enough, you think?
it's up to these guys. I think we probably use a little darker.
There's a light switch over. What I'll do, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. I've got everybody's name written down there here. I know we've got 3 more that are supposed to be here. We're actually 4. One of them may be coming in just a little bit later. We don't really have any minutes to go through. Crystal, I'll turn, do you want to do the introduction? Cause I don't know any of them.
All I know is Rick Hall, that he's out of our Knoxville office.
Well, let me introduce Mike Myers. Mike was our senior geographic information specialist or consultant, and he's got a doctorate. It's Dr. Myers, and so Mike retired from us, I guess, Mike, about a little over a year ago, wasn't it?
It's almost 2 years. now.
Almost 2 years, yeah. And
We
so
lost a year.
Mike now is working with us during the redistricting process, helping some of our consultants like myself with redistricting. And helping.
Sound like you're using him like we're using Donna.
That's right.
We recruited her to be.
He's got a whole
We
lot
got
of
two little teams here. But that's who we are. We're with CTAS. We work with county government, so I know quite a bit of y'all here. We've been working with county government since 1975, I believe. We're with the University of Tennessee under the Institute of Public Service, UT. And I'm your all's county government consultant. I've been working with you all about 27 years. So glad to be here. And I guess however long it takes, we're going to try to come up with something tonight, right? No, maybe another meeting.
I hope so.
But I hope so too.
Hope so too.
From what Mike and I look like, we hope I hope it won't be too difficult.
We're good to go. We'll turn it over to you, and right up there's a light switch.
Okay.
If you want to dim the light switch.
If it's okay, have y'all, any of y'all read the guide yet? Just kind of skim through it? If not, I just kind of like to go through the PowerPoint. I won't take too much of your time. I know it's in the evening, but I'd like to maybe take 5 minutes, just go through that.
The floor is yours. You've got to
really?
teach us. You got to
Okay.
teach us about this. So.
Okay, so you got us, however, how long it takes, right?
However
Until y'all
long
get
it
tired
takes.
of us. Okay, can we put it in the PowerPoint, in the PowerPoint
Over here.
Yes, sir, Matt, it's okay. Okay, is this thing,
Plug in your
doesn't, there it is.
Well, let me see.
You just want to tell me.
Makes it difficult.
And I'll just.
Okay. Like I said, it's only about 12 or 13 slides, but just kind of want to give just a general education for it, okay? Before we get into some census blocks and stuff like that. Just a little bit of education. Let's talk about redistricting in Tennessee. And for some reason, Mike's not working.
You just have to say click.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. The role of the Census Bureau. Basically, normal census timeline is January through April 2021, but it's not normal now because of the pandemic. It came late. The census, you all know the census was late this year, so the comptroller got their information, all the maps and all that information late. Matter of fact, we got it in August. Usually between June and December, local redistricting occurs, but here we are in September. So, and you've got till January the 1st to get it done. So, it's going to be tight this year. But hopefully in your all's case, I think y'all will get it done. I really do. I do. But so, in January, the legislature will release their redistricting plan. Okay, next one, Mike, it's okay. Census timeline again, like I said, it was delivered to the comptroller's office in August 2020. We went through some training. They gave us some training on the mapping program about a couple of weeks ago, didn't they, Mike? Yeah. Well, Mike's no handout. They really had to change the software. And Donna, you remember 10 years ago, it's the same software. And we loved it. It's terrific. It's okay, Mike. Let's go to the next one. Okay, redistricting Tennessee. Why do you have to reapportion every 10 years? Because it's the law. The statute is TCA 5111 A through G, requires all counties to reapportion every 10 years based on the new federal census. So now it's 2020 federal census. County commission boards must be reapportioned. County legislative bodies, local school boards, and highway. There's no elected highway commission here. And I believe here that, am I right, Donna?
There's a superintendent, yeah, there's a.
I'm the highway superintendent, but not a highway commission, elected highway commission. And I think here that the school board lines are the same as the county commission lines, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Am I right? Crystal? Okay. Matt? Okay. Good. Makes it a whole lot easier. Okay. Let's go on, Mike, we can. Okay, county legislative bodies can have a minimum of 9 members and a maximum of 25. You can have 1 member per district or no more than 3. And county commission can increase or decrease membership. Now, from what we understand, you all voted to decrease your membership from 3 per district to 2, correct? So Mike has worked up something already for that, for you. I'm going to show you later on. Some school boards are established by resolution or private act. I don't know which was established here on your all's lines, but I think they're still contiguous with county commission districts. All county commission districts, school board districts, and highway commission must use the equal population standard when drawing new district boundaries. They should not be greater than 10% variance, up or plus or minus with the districts. Okay. Example. Had a county population, say 100,000, had 10 county commissioners, take 100,000, divide by 10, so that'd be 10,000 per commissioner. So the ideal population commission would be 10,000 people. You see that? Okay, so we're going to be getting some variances here pretty soon when we show you the map. But should be plus or minus, correct? Let's say you have one district that's, let's say you got one, let's do this 10,000. If you have one district, let's say that only has 8,000 people, you may have another one that has 12, so you got a variance. So you see that? It may be maybe a -5 and a +5, but still you're within that 10% variance. Now, some counties that have a large mountainous area, some of those they justify that they have to be greater than 10% variance because of because of the mountainous area. I think Cleveland's one of them. Okay, let's go to the next one, Mike.
Yeah,
Here's yes, sir. Huh?
Colville.
Yeah. And here's a map we're going to be looking at here pretty soon. For example, you'll see some numbers. You'll see numbers in here. That's the population within the census block. You see that? These are census blocks. And each one of those numbers are represent population. Okay. What happened? Huh, it shut down, didn't it?
Got hot?
Huh? That's right here, right here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it'll come up right here in a second. Huh.
Maybe a wiggle the cord or something.
Did I push this in good enough night?
Does it come on out of the
Let's see. That's not coming on, is it? No, here it comes. All right.
Takes a while to warm up, doesn't it?
Huh?
Takes a while to warm up.
Yeah. Whew, that was close. We thought y'all might have to huddle around with a laptop right here. Well, that'd be awful. Here's what y'all gonna be seeing pretty soon. This is gonna be, I think this may be in Murray County, but I'm not sure. But you'll see like, here's your district numbers, and you'll see like planned statistics here on the bottom. The county commission district, and then you'll see total population, and then right here we'll look at the deviation. Now you can't see it there too good, I don't believe. But you'll see it here pretty soon. But those three will be mostly the deviation. These will be mostly looking at right here. And then we will work with you all, try to get within the 10%. Okay, Mike, let's go. Y'all understand that? The districts? Okay. Now here's a voting precinct map, for instance. I know we'll be working with Crystal and Donna on this later, I assume, on your voting precincts. But this is just an example. So it's kind of like your county commission district, but your voting districts will have an identifiable number. You've seen that, haven't you, Crystal and Don? Each one of these will have an identifiable number, and they can't go across. I think you can't go across county commission lines. It has to be contiguous, stuff like that. All right. Let's go to the next. All districts must be reasonably compact and contiguous, and they can't overlap. Consider minority representation, develop a new district plan based on the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And you can't exclude military personnel stationed, military stations, or students attending college. And in 2016, the General Assembly allowed, when reports are made, residents of correctional institutions by law cannot register in the county as voters may be excluded from any consideration for representation. Example, the state prison up in Johnson County. Johnson County, they took out their prison because they're other places, you know. So I think Johnson, I think maybe Trousdale, maybe down in, that's another county in Middle Tennessee, Mike, Southern, but Gary Hayes had. You remember? That's 3 or 4, they got the state prisons.
If
So
we are housing state inmates, will they come off? I don't know, the county did house some state inmates.
Yeah.
but, will that come off the number?
Uh,
I won't think it'd be that many anyway.
well,
Last time Ron said that he didn't have
Uh,
it around.
Okay, don't
you'd
have
have
me
to
right
split
now,
it,
okay.
They're not on the census.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the next one, Mike. Of course, each county is encouraged to establish a reinforcement, that's what y'all got here. You're encouraged to utilize the administrative election, ain't this great? You've all done that? Reinforcement shall elect a chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary. All meetings shall be posted or open to public, and all meetings shall have minutes taken. So, you've all done the preliminary stuff, right? Awesome. All right, Mike, I think that's probably the last one. Okay, no, it's not the last thing. The county commission plan's got to be certified by at least 2 people. The mayor, the chair of the county commission, a member of the county commission, one of these 4 people right here. On the voting precinct plan, they got to be certified either by the administrative elections, member of the election commission, and or the county, one of those 3. And we have sample resolutions that we'll provide, and it's got some little blanks in there you fill in, like for instance, you'll say in that resolution to say 2 county commissions per district, 7 district, for total like 14. Am I correct? Okay, but then we'll have other language in there. I'm just giving you an example. Y'all fill that in, and then the county commission would pass the resolution, and then once it's passed, Mike will send the final map that's in his computer here. We'll send it over to the State Division of Property Assessments. And then I think once they receive the resolution and everything, they send back the maps. And then I think that's what's signed. That map and all it's certified by the signatures. And I think you all do yours after the county commission's done theirs. Am I right?
Yeah.
Their lines. Okay. So we'll be coming back up and see y'all again, won't we? All right. Yeah. So, new plan goes effective August 22, and the deadline is January 1st. You've got a good start. Of course, it's a late start, really. Last time we had a good a full 6 months. I mean, and that was awesome. And this time we're kind of up to you all.
What Christian was saying, this has really got to be done
Quick.
by our October county commission meeting to get it approved, because they got to have the time to work on it. And then, we're gonna be facing an election, you pick
Our
up,
petition for December 20th.
December 20th, pick up petition, so.
Okay, I think
We're
can do
under
it.
a bigger gun.
I think we can do it.
We'll help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, really, after your school board district is the same lines and everything. So, all right, Mike. Now Mike's going to do his handiwork here.
Well, the state sent us maps prepared using your districts from 2010, overlaid with population from the 2020 census. So we pull up your old district boundaries. You can see, we're talking about this deviation here. You're on an ideal map, you'd all be 0%, but you have one district, 6, which is actually, it says 5%, it's actually 4.99, as we'll see. And one district that is over 6%. So your deviation,
It's in red, 6%.
yeah.
Yeah.
So your deviation is about 11%. So,
Yeah, that's about 1% up.
so 1%, if you wanted, you could keep the old district boundaries, move a few blocks, and you're there. So it's up to you. We'll take a look at what it looks like on the map.
That's the old one, right?
That's the old districts with the new population.
Okay.
So that's 2020 population, so that's the
Okay.
current deviation. We'll take a look at the software that shows by district. The current map, I'm gonna move this just a few minutes. So this, they picked really ugly colors here, but, I'm gonna pull up the chart here. And by district, your 7 districts,
Y'all may want to come up and look at it.
it's hard to read, isn't it?
Is this,
Is this?
yeah, it can focus, yeah, it can focus better.
Yeah, let's try to focus
Yeah.
here. Let's maybe get this in here.
Y'all may want to come up and take a look at it. Go ahead, Mike, I'm sorry.
Okay, so the, ideal, if you exactly, divided your number of districts, or number of population by the number of districts, you're looking at about 8,500 per district, a little less than that, about 8,100. So this software calculates, the deviation, and it marks the one that is over in red. You probably can't read that, that's District 2.
Let's see,
That's up there.
there.
That has, using current census blocks, a deviation of 6.21, so a little over 6%, about 500 people over. District 6, this one up here, is at 7,700 population, approximately 400 people under, or about 5% under. So you're really only lacking, if you calculate out the percentages, it's about 80 people per percentage point. So if you moved 80 to 150 people, for example, out of 2 into another district,
Was it 5, Mike?
you could do 3. It has to be contiguous.
Yeah.
Ideally, you could move them from 2 to 6 because
Yeah.
they're the ones that are out. But you have to be contiguous. So 1 is here,
Okay.
4 is here, and 3 is here. So that's one solution. Another is to put some people into 6 and bring its percentage down so that the total is less than 10%.
I know as far as the law, it doesn't matter as far as the area, but if you look at District 6, and I'm a commissioner from District 6, it takes up almost a fourth of the area of Hawkins County.
Yeah.
And you say, well, that doesn't really matter. Well, it does, because I get more complaints about roads than anything else. The people call me, I think they think I'm the road commissioner. But, you know, when you represent about a fourth of the roads in the county, you know, to me, we need to try to get some of those, and I know that when you got the more populated areas like District 2 and Churchill, that's got to be that way. But, you know, instead of my district running almost from one end of the county over halfway County, you know, we've got population down on that end where we could have took and put in District 6 and cut the area of mine down. But now this is another thing too. I know that it's going to be a bigger area because I'm representing everything on the other side of the mountain. And I know that that's a reason for you to be a greater difference in the, you know, I think they said you could be like, I don't remember, but I went to the legislative conference and they were talking about it, but, you know, I'd like someone to know that we could make that area, because the people I'm representing on the upper end, they don't even feel like they're being represented, even though I talk to them, you know. And they're living within a mile of.
Is the District 6 the ones that's lowest, that's 4.9?
Yeah, it's the one that's under, so.
What about, now, we did an example option, Mike, what was that option plan?
Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't really change the percentage. I'll pull it up here. You said you wanted, you were shooting for a target of 2 commissioners per district instead of 3. And if you do that, you don't change percentages. You know, you're just dividing it up differently. So let me pull up, without changing anything but the number of commissioners. See right down here on the stats, you may be able to see it says 3 apiece. let me pull up one that's just got 2 apiece. So, there it says 2 commissioners apiece, you still have the same percentages, so that doesn't do anything to, change that. You could change, the number of commissioners, right, you could have 2 in, one area, one in one area, 3 in the other, that would change that.
They've already voted to have 2 per district.
Right.
It seemed like, really, like I said, if we could move just maybe a census block or 2 from the one that's too high down to the one that, to another district. Maybe,
In order to do that though, the way that it is, 2 versus, I believe it says 5 and 6, you know, 1 is probably the only district that's not gonna be affected. District 1, because in order to get District 2, downsize District 2, those people are going to go into District 3.
Yeah.
Right?
If I may,
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
we're going, county commission lines follow school board lines. School board members historically
or vice versa.
represent the areas that their schools are in. Right. Now, if you take the Longs Bend area, that's in District 2, I represent District 2, but that's the Segorgeville area, that needs to go to District 3 for that school board representative to represent those schools. Or the students that go to those schools. Not exactly those schools, because District 3 school board member has those schools, but the Longs Bend area down this way, those citizens contact me, but their children go to the Segorgeville-based schools. Actually, Teddy and I had that conversation
Okay.
during his election. We couldn't figure out the boundary lines. I think me and you discussed that too at some point. Why District 2 went
I've got an option in the car, and I forgot which district, and I looked at it, yesterday. Just have to move like 100, it's like 2 or 3 little census blocks. Can I go get it and be right back?
This is another thing too that we need to think about, and of course it's Keith's district. But you're gonna end up taking people out of the city limits up there and putting them in another district.
Not if you.
Not if we take them out on the area, not if we take them out of the Peter area. That's out of the city. You know, that sort of goes hand in hand with what you're talking
Using the
about.
Longs Bend area,
But he'll put it in what district?
District 3.
District 3.
And that's not within the city limits of Segorgeville.
Well, we're not saying that Church Hill would be over, was,
The Churchill and Peter Benny's
Oh,
District
okay.
2. That is District 2.
District 2 is, about 500 people over.
so if you took, which that's where they would need to come from, because you don't want to take people out of the
Unless you take
city.
them out of the city.
Right. And when I'm saying that Longs Bend area, that is all county, that's not city. And if you put that into District 3, that doesn't involve them into Segorgeville city limits either. I don't know for voting.
But then that's gonna put them going into, does the 3rd district, it don't go over there, that would be the 4th district, wouldn't it? Or, I'm not.
What is taking in 3rd or 4th?
It's the 3rd of it, if I'm not mistaken. Mount Carmel's 1, I'm 2, Kathy's 3, Takey's 4.
That 4th district sort of, seat gets real narrow right there, but.
That's that piece of one.
I was gonna tell you in my notes, I looked at it, it looks like to me you can almost go from District 2 to District 4.
Yeah.
About 100, 130 people with just about 2 or 3 blocks.
Are you talking about that little carve out where his hand cursor is there?
Yeah, alright, well, from 2 to 4,
Yeah, we could just, play around a little bit.
yeah, we can see what y'all thought, we can always move it back.
So, up here, I'm saying, I'm taking something from source 2 and I'm putting it in source, we're
4,
going 4.
yeah.
Okay. So, are you talking about this one?
From 2 to 4,
Yeah, is this block right here?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
That is contiguous,
Yeah,
isn't it?
so
Okay.
we'd have to, so if we wanna go from 2 to 4, we'd have to take this one right here, or this one, this is 127.
I'm not,
That's across the river, is that a big deal? Does that break up the district?
That's the Christians Bend area, is it not? I can't see the map.
Yeah, let's see, if I pull in a little closer, there's a railroad track.
I don't see what that body of water is there.
Here's forward. Here's 2.
This is 2.
This is 2 coming down.
I brought my
This is the
map.
Longs Bend.
Yeah.
This will be Christians, because there's Christians Bend Road. But Christians Bend students, help me Matt, I'm thinking come to, they don't go to Churchill Elementary, do they?
No, they go over to
Segorge.
Gordonsville.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm saying this whole area here,
I don't, I
and
can't,
go to
I
the
don't
district.
remember.
Oh, it's all.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if we can just cut that area out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was saying District 3, evidently I'm mistaken, it's District 4 for Tech.
Yeah, because currently right now, depending on which side of Long Bend you're on, you either go up to Segornsville and then up to Volunteer, or you go all the way, you used to go from Kepler to middle school all the way up to Cherokee.
But,
So if you cut that out right there, then that's a continuous service line.
yeah. Yep.
If I'm thinking the same thing you are.
Yeah, I think we are.
Let me, make these labels a little bigger.
I just wonder though, would that give the students in the Longs Bend / Christians Bend area of District 2, moving them to 4, would that still wouldn't give them an opportunity to go to Cherokee?
Well, I think their boundary school would be assigned volunteer if we did it that way, but current policy is that if they turn in a request. that
Well, yeah, they can
be
do that.
approved, Yeah, so
Well, their district to volunteer now, because Segornsville's a feeder school,
if
so
they're
it
on
really
the
wouldn't
Christian
change
Bend,
anything.
if they're on the Christian Bend side, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't change anything.
But see, just past, cause I live in Long Bend, just past my house, up another further, a mile and a half over towards Segornsville, everybody's volunteer, but my house toward Buren is all Cherokee.
Yeah. Okay.
Max will show y'all an aerial view of it.
What
On the, Wi-Fi here, is there a guest Wi-Fi?
I've got it here before, Mike. Somebody coming on right now, not getting in.
Well, I was just wondering about the Wi-Fi here. Let me pull this up here.
Is the mayor still here?
That, to me, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we're not taking them on Churchill, we're taking them out. But I didn't know if it would have to be a domino, if we take it, we have.
Courthouse gas is showing on the unsecured.
I don't think so.
Well, from after he explained it, I don't think so either.
But what's
Well, that's not near as clear as it should be.
Yeah.
We
I
have
can't see it
to
get close.
We have to do that, I mean, what can you say, I don't know.
What's the penalty if you took no action? I'm not saying I don't want to, I'm just wondering. Yeah, and be out of compliance by.
We'd be able to comply, I don't know,
We'd be defined the state law.
yeah.
Okay, good answer.
William, I mean, they're all within 10%, aren't they?
Huh?
They're all within 10%, aren't they?
Yeah,
No.
the highest and
I
lowest.
think
have
the
to
cumulative does.
You may have a 6 up and a 5, or 7 up and a 5 down, that's beyond the 10%.
If we move the amount that you say out into the 4th district, will the 6th district have to be touched then? So just one move,
Possibly.
possibility to take care of
We
everything.
can see right here, Mike can move it to see.
So I'm right here, this is 16.
I want the 6th district moved. Well, I'm covering too much area right now. I mean, it's not fair to the people, the way that it is. The complaint I get is you've got people up there that live within a mile of,
Of the voting precinct.
well, county commission, and it's a different district.
So I moved, block with 16, block with 11
And I live
here.
on the lower end, they feel like they
That changes it about to 5.87. So you gotta squeeze out about 80 people percentage.
What about right here, Mike?
That's a lot.
How much
So
is that?
We go from 127.
That would work though, wouldn't it? You put those others back, put that in, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. So that brings that down to 4.31. So you're well within, you're only, 931.
Is
I
that
did.
Christian's pen?
So that would make you compliant.
so. Yeah, I can't tell. Because the fifth bend is on the other side. Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to, carve down 6, push a little out, you're still possibly within that 10, but you might have to, jiggle another one, you kind of domino effect it.
You've got an area on Melinda Spur in District 6, which is right at the lake, that one side's District 6 and the other side's District 5. Well, District 6, my District 6 comes all the way up into the town of Rogersville. I'm representing people in the town of Rogersville. What I don't understand is why they didn't cut it off where it's on both sides of the road down there somewhere to make it even.
That's,
To where I don't come within the city limits of Rogersville.
it's my guess, this has been historical like that for, I don't know how long. But it's been like that since I worked with y'all. State planning used to work on your report, on your redistricting. I bet you, they did the old maps, I bet it would.
On the left side of the road, see, on the left side of the road, I take in the city limits, but on the right side of the road, District 5 goes plumb out of the city limits. And I think we talked about it might be in their,
It's my guess they may have did that years ago in order to be able to meet the 10% deviation requirement. I don't know. I can't speak why they did it back then, I don't know. But,
They probably use, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And
your plan here, was just like that one move,
I think we did that last time.
we did that last time.
We ducked.
well, I know used to district, but the district, and that might not have been District 6. The Mooresburg area where I live,
Yeah.
St. Clair and Mooresburg is in the same district.
Well, they wasn't a
Years
school board
ago.
member or a county commissioner that we just moved over to another district.
Was that years ago?
But, yeah, I mean, that gets you within the deviation, just that one move.
And it doesn't have to be those blocks, but
Yeah.
those are outside the
That's just
city
an option
limits. That's what we're doing here. We're working with the 10%, 80 blocks, any districts. We could keep the 6.24, 621 on 2 and then make the 6 a little less by adding, but that's not the way you want to go.
well, I'll ask Matt, as far as the school board, is this, what he's done, fixing it right here, is that good with you all?
I think, it's probably a decent idea, given the fact that kept it closed. And that area was really split between driving all the way over to Cherokee or coming all the way over to Segorsville. If that, Christian's Bend area, if I'm looking at the map the right way, if that's included in there, or a large portion of it.
Well, they go to volunteer. The ones that's going to in only
But if we
volunteer.
encroach over further toward Buren,
But I don't think we're going to. I think it's just that census block, you call it.
yeah,
Can you give us
a picture, a map of the census block that we're referring to?
Changing?
Yes,
Yeah, so,
yeah, it would just be that.
this area right here, this
It
car
would
right
have to
there.
be on the lower end, all that lower end.
Yeah, so it wouldn't take in long span or anything like that.
And we added these two in here, but you wouldn't have to.
I think the ones that he added in there were,
This one,
yeah,
this was south of the river,
and then those other,
and these two that are south of the city on that side of the river, right here and right here.
Well, that's, see that body of water, I can see the river, but what's that
Yeah.
body of water? Is that Greenland Park?
I cannot get an internet connection unless somebody has a password.
That might cause my working line.
It's not.
If you're sending courthouse guests, it's showing to be unsecured.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Green Park, right there, if you coming down this way.
No, Greenland Park is
Okay, I don't agree with that.
Greenland Park Road.
Yeah, that's right, I'm on.
So what's that lake?
I think the boat ramp is about right here.
If I can get an internet connection, I can bring up an aerial map.
boat ramp at,
Christian's Bean.
okay.
Huh, it's
I'm
on,
looking
not
at
in
it
front of the
right
bar.
Is that the boundary?
It's just not good.
I think the one that I had to the right, not that thing that coming up, but the first two clicks that he made, that's what I was talking about. I don't know how that affects it. Cause that's the part that goes up to Churchill.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't need to do those if we did the census
that
block of
bond.
Christians Bean.
That 127.
Where's that at?
So you think the 127 needs to go back to 2?
No, I think,
Just do that one.
I think he's thinking.
And take these two right here back over here,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Take those back out.
Take them back over here, Bob.
Yeah.
Right, so we're starting,
Is that what you're saying, Chris?
Yes.
so let's take a look at that. So this
Yes.
one's at 16,
Forward.
and this one's at 11. Gives you,
It's an artist room.
4.64 deviation, and that's well within, added to the 5, so you're 9.6.
Oh, good.
What's the population of that peninsula there that's being?
This
The
right
one
here?
that's, the one that's being added, 127?
Yeah.
27, okay. That's also, that's the easy solution.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, one block, that's like we did last time.
One block. As long as Crystal don't find anything.
Actually, I do have a list of things that if y'all could look at it.
We started making lists about 5 years ago.
Yeah, about like switching some.
Okay.
Just little things to
One
correct.
of them is the District 6, down there at PRW, down through there, to put it in District 5.
Where was that at, Chris?
Right there along with 11W,
This
Uh,
side of TRW.
yeah,
Yeah.
this side PRW,
Yeah,
that line right there.
I
They're in
agree.
top
I
track,
agree.
but they're actually.
I agree, that needs to be in 5. And give me some of that down the road there, like, River Gate. Everything going down Melinda Ferry, cause one side's already mine, the other side's not.
Are you talking in this area here somewhere?
It was, there, it's, you don't have, do you have streets?
It's, yes, I do.
It would be like, what's that map? That'd help.
I should put the streets on earlier on it.
Are we on voting precincts now, Mike?
We're on districts, right?
Yeah, District
What?
5,
What is the raw
District
number
6.
per district?
but
What is the ideal number? It's about 8,100.
here's a map.
Okay.
This is where, this is what we're, like maybe we could move them into District 5.
These are, these are somewhere along this boundary here. I'm not figuring it out on this road.
I think we need to go south of that,
Yeah,
South of this.
yeah, down at the, right above the city limits of Rogersville.
Those kids.
So,
Right down in that area.
yeah, so if we don't, we're not careful, we can't keep this contiguous. Even farther south, this right here. So these are in 5 and 6 now?
Still
I think
it
you're,
borders,
That's
it's
in the
right
city,
away,
though.
but it actually borders
This
six.
is part of it's in the city.
Are these in 6 now, or are they in 5?
See, I'm not.
These are actually Rogersville city people,
Okay.
but they're in the chop pack.
Okay, so they're not, I thought they were in 6 already.
No, they're,
Okay,
well,
so-
yeah, they're in six, but we're gonna see
farther
about moving them
down.
over to,
That's back up here.
Over to
Yeah.
another district, okay,
So we see is where, Jimmy Ray lives.
it's getting closer, or?
Chance.
It's right there, I think.
so 5th and 6th are bordered right there, yeah. So we're looking at the purple and the yellow, right? Green or yellow, yeah.
Yeah, so this is 6.
it would be right there on the top, it's right parallel at highway, there'd be a triangle road.
That's the
See
west.
triangle
Yeah,
road?
this is all, every bit of this is in your district.
You see,
But now
you
that-
see
That's
those,
the river, that's
This
the
is outlined in
road,
our district.
it'd be up a little bit.
Even this year, it's been bigger, but it's
It'd
still
be
district.
right there, right there, it'd be, I'm seeing like a
No,
triangle
it's showing
road.
the chair. It's showing, and this, it's not in the county, it's not in the district, it's not in the city limits. See, this is all city limits. This is still District 2, even though that sticks out on there because that's in the city. So if y'all run into us in here, what's on you all? So, changing that,
Don't make a difference.
don't make a difference.
This one,
That would,
this, because this.
see, if this was in the district 4,
Well, they still.
well, that's, is that true?
This is 4.
Yeah.
Don't make a difference. Just move that.
You know, see,
so you're talking, like this one right, that rounds down.
This, on this side, on this triangle road, well, you all got that in the fifth, but we're just, when we have them, they're in the sixth, when we look at our stuff. Is that right? He's got triangle road and stuff, and he's in the fifth. I know.
That crosshatch, is that city limits, is that what that is?
Yes, it's Rogersville. And it's all in the 5th. So that's good, then.
Okay,
We're
right
done?
here,
We're done.
yeah.
Even done with voting
So,
precincts? You think?
it's the houses on this side, so right there's this. I can't see it.
Is this?
Yeah. I am.
That's
It's
that
coming down,
purple,
yeah.
that's that purple coming down right here,
Yeah.
and then.
You don't have that little part of it.
No. That's the area right there, and like you'll see on this map, like this, that purple,
Mm-hmm.
there's a little, that's the
There's a,
border of the district, it's separating it.
yeah, I'm not sure what's making up the district boundary,
And
but,
then these houses like Russell Circle, like right in here,
mhm.
these are like in chop tack. Yeah, the sixth district in the purple.
I'm not sure what's making up the district
See, this is it.
boundary here. It doesn't look like any street or anything, so it's a little confusing, but the block, and you can only.
It shows on here too, Mike,
Yeah.
This aerial, that's that
Yeah,
piece you're talking about, and it's not cut up by roads, or a street, it's just a.
yeah, those are, I remember those from last time.
Yeah.
But you think these right here should,
They should be in Rogersville fifth.
they should be in the fifth?
The map on the other side, it has on the numbers and stuff.
Yeah, this whole area in purple right here is one block. So
Yeah, that
if
would
you
work.
move it, that's 56,
Yeah,
and that's gonna be about 0.5%.
yeah.
So,
I just thought I would bring it up.
yeah, no,
We can keep on doing it the way we are.
it's an odd,
So what's affected that is, of course, you see Rogersville City, and then you have the county, and then they come down and they grab TRW.
Yep.
They've got, the city's just got that one block there, so that's probably what's affecting that.
It's still where some next door neighbors in the city, no, it's not.
Was that
Yeah.
the block of 11?
These are not city, these are city, city, this is all city, but then up here, they're not city. Yeah, it goes back and forth.
This guy,
See right
is in
here,
city, this next door neighbor is
It's
the
not,
county.
yes.
this is city.
there is one
okay?
block here,
You
11.
and
Yeah,
Chris
I
are
mean,
okay?
would that be
Oh,
too
they're
much
right
of
there.
a, I mean, we couldn't
See,
take that whole block.
Is that not
and
TR,
make
is that what,
everything
that they took
But
TR to?
that block,
Percentages.
they're talking about no roads going
You
to
don't
shop.
need cities.
Would it help to get this one block of 11 right here? You see there's one block of 11 down here?
It's right here, 66, Highway 66.
Yeah,
I go to
that would help a little
66,
bit.
and then I go up.
If those are, that's between,
Then I go over here, and I
That's
go
Ross
down there,
Staples.
Yeah,
inside Ross.
They're
Those
gonna
are-
do
You've seen it,
those are in the city.
top of that mountain.
It looks like a rural area.
They're in the sixth district.
It's,
He
it's
says they're in the
ridiculous.
block by themselves, the census block all by
Yeah.
themselves.
So
It's
they're
right
in,
here.
See, I didn't.
They're in
know
six
that.
now.
See,
yeah.
five
you're saying
different
add that-
highway places.
grab that 11 and put it into 5?
Well, if that would help your situation, it's,
But
No.
this
I
is-
mean, not really. I mean, then you
Well,
have these
you know,
and
yeah.
these,
It would help,
so.
yeah.
it would help ballot wise.
Yeah, but then you still have all these that would still be on that ballot, so that's a huge.
Yeah, I mean, we've got technically about 15 people that
It goes down there.
live in Rogersville that have to
This
go to
area right
Lakeview
here.
School to vote.
This area right here, that's
Sorry, y'all.
right
It's got my car watching.
Yeah. The only other thing is you could add the 56 and then
there.
take
That's five.
something
Right
right
here.
put it back in
There's a
6.
big subdivision right there. Down there.
Same thing.
Then you got this subdivision right here, that's not in the city limits. You know,
Well, the city keeps saying that it's okay to vote in the courthouse.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's a Rogersville city election standalone, they still, those people come to the courthouse to vote, so.
The city school board races sometimes.
this is the thing.
Yeah.
Get it on ballot.
Well, not so much anymore.
Do you have something on here that shows the population change between the 10 years?
We have
House,
population, in 2010.
for Hawkins County,
The 7th district.
you can go on to the, US Census Bureau and get it for Hawkins County. Also, I believe we even have it on our website, I think.
Yeah, I have that, and I'm trying to understand how this relates to that.
How the 2020 census relates to it.
Well, I've got the, what they call here, these census tracts.
The tract is a collection of blocks.
Right.
Basically.
But also on here, it has the ones that changed in population, which ones grew and which ones decreased. How does this, what you're recommending here, relate to the areas that are growing in the county, and which ones are gonna be underrepresented in 5 years or so, based on their growth?
No, there's nothing like that complicated about it. We just took the census, the state just took the old districts.
Right.
And in some cases, they would have to maybe tweak them a little bit because the census block boundaries might have changed from 2010 to 2020. There's probably not a lot of them, but some of them probably did.
But when I look on here at the 6th district, which I'm looking at for my friend Rick here, it shows what's census tract 501, basically going up 7.5%. And that, they have over 18, 5.2 in the overall. And then 502, which is the Clinch and, I guess, Allenwell census tract going down 3.7%. I'm trying to understand how, if one part of that block went up 5.2%, the other one went down 3%.
I think you probably had some folks move.
Well, I understand that part,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to understand when, in the overall, that aggregate went up, how the 6th district is down in relation to everything.
It's just, it's only in relation to as close as they could conform the old district boundaries to the new census blocks. And
But it seems to
the
me
census blocks would not necessarily correspond to a census tract.
I understand that.
I mean, some of the census blocks could be in one
It's
tract.
apples and oranges, I understand that. But I'm looking at this data here and I'm trying to relate that to this. And I'm trying to understand which parts of the county are growing versus the parts that are decreasing.
Yeah.
And trying to put some of that thought into this so that 5 years from now, there aren't chunks that are underrepresented and chunks that are overrepresented.
It's my guess your District 2 is one that grew.
Well, half
Continue
of
to
District
grow.
6 grew.
And then you probably lost in District, what's the blue right here?
That's
District
6.
6. So your rural areas look like they went down, and then around, I guess, Rogersville, Segovinsville areas where you picked it up.
The people have a hard time doing those kind of time things because the way you're talking about the census block, they kept the same boundaries. You'd have a nice little color map you could show things that go up and down. The census tracts stay closer to the same size, so you can do that kind of comparison. So why one went up, I guess that's your insight to figure out why something went up and down from your local
Right.
knowledge.
I'd like to know if there's any data here in this molecular stuff here that can help with this. I guess my point is if the 6th district is still light by 400 people or whatever that number is, how if it went up with relation to everything else? It wasn't really like the last time.
How it went down.
Well, it's low with respect to the rest of the county.
Yeah.
And it went up with respect to the rest of the county over that 10-year period. So I'm trying to understand where it started from, I guess, to get to this
Huge area.
huge area. I guess I don't understand it, and maybe it doesn't matter.
Is that area right there, go Highway 66 up through there? Is that what y'all got?
Part of it,
Hancock County, yeah.
I mean, everything on the other side of the mountain.
A lot of
And
them, you got a lot of them. Is that-
On
that's
66,
Rogersville,
just here in
on that
Rogersville,
side of left.
just here in Rogersville, everything on this side.
Well, that takes in Wardsburg, don't it?
Yeah,
And everything to the right of Highway 11, just about
yeah.
there. Yeah. That is, that's a good sign.
And Morrisburg's grew, what percentage was it?
Well, according to census, it's 5.2%.
5.2%.
Right.
Are they moving there close to the plants and stuff, and the river, and building nice
Lake.
homes and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of retirement
Retirement, well,
people moving in there, and in my area, there's 5 houses under construction right now, and probably 4 more coming here shortly, so. I mean, it's a high growth part of the county. And, I mean, empirically, it says it's underrepresented, or overrepresented here now, so probably works out at some point.
It's only represented, it's only that way if you think it is. Within the 10%, you know, you can make those kind of adjustments based on your own knowledge of what you think is a fair representation, you know. If you think there's more growth in a certain area, you can kind of edge it that way. You know, that's sort of what you're doing now, making your best guess on what's a good, because you're stuck with this for 10 years, basically.
And I think with respect to the 6th, it's probably okay, but in terms of the 2nd or whatever it is, if that doesn't draw down enough, it's gonna be underrepresented pretty quick if it keeps growing.
How much did it grow,
What?
looking at those same numbers?
I don't know which census tract it's in. If I look at Mount Carmel, I guess, 4.2%. Church Hill, 3.4%. I mean, on a pretty good pile of people already.
Of course, District 6 is clinch, too.
Well, I mean, you're in, see, that's the problem with 6th district, it's so big an area, but it's rural.
So geographically, a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Twin houses.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no go over there, Tony.
The same can be said a lot about,
so the fastest growing area is Mount Carmel, isn't it?
it's not bad.
Encroachment from Kingsport.
Total
All
size.
the way toward Mount Carmel?
Total size.
Well, that makes sense. If you go to the largest city, don't you?
Yeah.
Growth usually happens in the largest city.
Yeah, outspread from that.
Evidently, it must have been low in numbers for it not to be needing to move some.
District 1.
Yeah. If
It's
it's
down there
around
too.
I think they're
Yeah.
coming further down the
Kind of landlocked.
almost now, because I think there's about built everywhere they get there in that area.
There's nowhere to grow. I mean, you got the
They're
railroad.
coming on down.
So is this a map, are you looking at a map like this?
I'm looking at something that's, I guess, from the census.
Yeah, that's it,
That's
that's
what
it.
you got right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, the areas that are orange and, basically a lost population from 2010.
The red.
The red and, yeah. Red and less red, and orange is lower growth.
I think that's the higher.
Well, lower than, this green, which you don't have. You don't have
Yeah, we
any,
don't,
anything over 9%
right.
in a particular tract, and that's over in this area here, and then, this is what you're saying, this area that had grown more.
It grew, but the other piece, which is right next to it there, which is census
Yeah.
tract 502 there, it's decreased.
In this area, yeah, that's probably the biggest increase of any of the census tracts.
So Wartburg, 5.2%? Wow.
Yeah, this area right here.
10 years from now, that maybe look quite a bit different.
Yes. That's a good step.
And then also left on the lake.
We do a lot of addressing.
Yeah.
What's that, gated community off of Slate Hill, back over the hill? Chillicothe?
Legacy Band?
Yeah.
That's where Ralph lives.
That's, filling up, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, there's 5 new constructions, probably 4 more imminent, I guess.
So, you have achieved balance at this point. If you want to continue,
Is everybody good with that?
I'm good with that. But I know Rick and him had questions because of their district. My second district is one I'm in. We're losing a few people, but that's understandable, depending on, you know, on what's happened. And, I'm glad it can work out, maybe help the school, what we are gonna lose. You know, maybe make it a little easier. School's never easy, I know that. I'm retired of it, so.
There is one that really does need to be moved, and I don't think I don't know if it'll do anything, but it's 265 Bays Mountain Road. And they're just this little house up there all by themselves. And they're on the other side of the Holston Defense. And they're having to drive all the way to Mount Carmel to vote, and they pass McPheeters Bend.
BAYS.
Now, which one?
BAYS. 265 Bays Mountain Road.
Are they in two right
They are in District 1 right now,
now? One.
and they really need to be moved to District 2.
it's only 2 people that you see in that block.
Yes, there is. There's only 2.
That's not gonna throw you out of
Okay,
whack
if
too
you
much,
could
so
help those people out.
that's it.
Is that the one, if you go up by Laurel Run, turn right, and go up and then turn left back on the backside?
Is there any way that we can get,
It's sort of funny.
is there any way
I
that
think
we
you
can get
mentioned
access
that when I got home
to
the
those
next day, I
voting
had a
blocks
phone call
somewhere or
from
other
somebody
where we
who
can sit down and look at
wanted to
it?
change because
and-
they were talking about how far they
You
were.
know, that lady is
You
a
have a
patient.
map, right?
I've got a hard copy here.
Last
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
But if you have anything you could let me take calls
Goes
and
into Sullivan County. That's the
Yeah.
property.
Well, we're gonna give the chair of the county mayor these hard maps.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Do you have a soft copy?
Yeah, it's the
These-
last
these-
house there.
Or you
PDF.
can spread down here, how you wanna do it.
PDF or something like that.
Database?
Because
I think there's three maps.
somewhere we can pull it off of the computer and look at it.
He's talking about it.
We can send you a PDF, the data is in a, what's called a shape file, it's a geodatabase, or ARC map, or mapping software.
Can it extract?
I think there's three maps here.
Are they
And then
big?
you
Are
can
they
print
pretty
them to
big?
PDF.
Right, I can get one.
Are they pretty
The
big?
tables.
They're pretty big, it looks like.
correspond to our lots.
Well, I would say probably-
Which are, based on the census.
It's been 10 years since we looked at it.
Yeah.
PDF would be okay.
Is that the map with the 2020?
Emails.
I mean, 20 cents.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, if you stretch it out, I can take a picture of it. Yeah.
Now, that'd help him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So this one right here,
That would be cap, are you sure they're not going to
that's
cap?
in one. That's in
Because
one.
the guy that called me,
Mount Carmel.
All right.
These people are currently in Mount Carmel. District 1. 265 Bays Mountain Road.
365 days.
265.
Yeah, I don't have addresses on here, it's definitely in, this block here, or
There's
you
one.
look it up on,
Hey, Mike.
yeah.
you don't know the name, do you? So the guy named Jason Light called me about it.
This is James Coker. James Moran Coker.
Is that the only one that lives in
If
there?
you can just email that to him where he can pull that up, it's a lot simpler.
Oh, so you don't need a hard copy now, do you?
Yeah, the PDF,
Is that paper the map?
Is this in the?
It is, that's the
you can
census
make a PDF that
deviation
has layers.
Oh,
before you made the changes.
Uncheck the layers, so I'll send you that.
I'm gonna get a picture of that real quick.
Yeah, it's almost like this, and you can zoom in on it too.
They may have three copies of this. They did.
So, do you
They
think?
gave, I bet there's 3 copies of the maps here too. You need to make a picture of the map?
Yeah. Can we turn the lights back on?
10 people over.
Oh, there you go. You got all kinds of copies.
You gotta be in
I'm
it.
serious. Well, I mean,
I don't think that planning commission can do that.
I have the.
Or you got something?
Yeah.
Unless they want to turn the action.
you want to write it on something side?
No, it's
Assessment thing, that
I have to wait till next
He gave you a phone number.
You done already done that?
I don't have an email, I don't have an email.
What would be the city? What would be the city?
Well, they're in Rogersville address. 265 Days Mountain Road, Rogersville.
You text, you can just text it or do whatever you want to do.
Oh, that's in district. But they're voting in that corner?
That's the way that the district lines drawn now.
Cause if it's a Rogersville address, that's gonna be over in Beach Creek. At the Sullivan County line.
They got them in District 1, Mount Carmel. That's the line.
Now, I'm assuming that's where it would be, toward,
Do you remember that name, Coco?
yeah.
Well, when can we get
We'll bring it in. I know, you know where Mark Sanders lived?
Uh-huh.
He had a Rogersville address. The pro, if you go,
Really?
yes, if
A
you go
lot of
by,
people do. I have a Rogersville address, but I live down in St. Clair, Louisiana.
here, he can see Churchill from where Mark's house was at. If you go up, instead of going to Royal Run, taking that left to go to Royal Run, take a right, go out there, the road hit, take a left and go back and then turn, you're running parallel with Royal Run. And the guy that called me lives on past where Martin, there's a Hunter Church up there or something, on past that, and turns, and he lives down in that area. And he had, I thought he told me he had to go to, St. Clair, or somewhere down that area, so, not Mount Carmel. You know, we may be talking about different people, but,
Remember the name?
yes, Jason.
Jason White.
Jason,
These are three same maps,
What's his address?
and the data.
I don't know what it is.
It's a parcel in there, you give a little bit and, two. I'm not sure.
Oh, there's overlap.
You have to flatten out so I
I'm
can
not sure
just.
exactly what's represented on this parcel map.
You're saying depending on where the address of the home actually resides on
I'm just
that?
trying to flatten this out so I can get a picture of it.
that'd be great.
Can I have this copy?
I mean, we can move it.
It's to the chair and the mayor, but if they don't have, that's, and there's three, they're all the same thing.
Yeah.
He's gonna spin it
I
out.
guess.
Yeah.
It looks like it's probably
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean,
in one.
I'm not on the committee, I don't know who said.
This map here is here. It's like it's-
Okay. They,
Unless that's part of the boundary, then it's definitely.
motion to adjourn. Yes.
They're in one, they need to be moved over.
Okay.
They're in one, and they need to be at least moved over.
Okay. It's easy to do.
You can justify that you lost money, I think there's.
They need to go to two or to four.
You know Mark Witt? Mark is the chairman. So Brenda is not.
You can see where the polling places are.
Two, right?
She wants,
As far as.
they, we wanna move them to District 2. Is that gonna mess things up?
Oh, yes, we want to approve them, yes, every.
So we wanna move them to, there's one.
They get it.
We wanna move them to two.
Correct. You can do on their, whatever they say. I'm not been involved in that.
So that changes this to four, just a percentage, slight percentage, so you're still at 9.64.
Still within ten.
Yeah, easy. Here's another 30.
You say you talking about here or in the commission?
Y'all.
So you're moving 30 people
Can we
from
move them now when we?
District
find out the
1 to
mayor, get them out,
District-
or what?
And we just moved
Two
two
people.
people.
2 people?
Two, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a family.
There's a block of 2 people?
That's a,
They were in, District One, Mount Carmel, having to drive all the way out
Oh my goodness.
to get the road.
That's a huge block with only 2 people.
Where is that block?
It's on the back side of BAE.
Okay, I was just trying to find it on the map there.
There's even one of those bunkers
Yeah,
on
south,
the back of the property.
east corner. So we're right here.
If you go up there, I know there's a gate that goes back, they said you used to be able to go from there to somewhere in Sullivan County.
Yeah, the mail
And
truck.
that- And that's probably the property we're talking about.
Yep. It is.
If you look at the maps.
And the person that I'm talking about lives right before you get to the gate. He said he had to go to Kepler, if I understood right, to vote. And is that, the purple, is that District 3?
you probably had to drive all around
That's
Goshen
actually
back
4.
around to Kepler then.
Can Michael pull it up Michael, can you pull it up by name on the streets?
Not, I can, on the, property assessment map I can.
It's a Jason Light.
Jason Light.
Which district are they moving the 2 people?
From 1 to 2.
1 to 2.
What's the address?
We're gonna find that.
Now, give me that, I'm gonna pull it up.
I tried, but I couldn't get it. I guarantee that he lives right in here, down there. This, the way the Laurel Run comes up, if this is the road, and you're talking about those people live over in this area, right?
Jason.
Those 2,
Jason
because
Light,
that road
LIGHT.
stops,
LIGHT.
L-I-G-H-T, yes, it stops. And there's a gate going into that property. And he lives, like you say, right before you get to the gate.
Churchville, Tennessee.
There is a James Light on Bays Mountain Road 450.
Would that be Bays Mountain Road?
Churchville,
I
Tennessee.
don't know the,
So there is no Jason. It's
okay.
not a James.
It's up in there, yeah.
I don't know where Bays Mountain Road's at.
Bays Mountain Road is this one right here. So this makes,
This is Jason.
funny little peninsula off of, 2, which is, I can tell you, not as compact as they would like, but it's fine. What do you think, Rick?
But it is compact.
It's contiguous,
Contiguous.
it could be a little more compact.
How many people are here in this block?
And the one
In the
that was
4?
exchanged,
In the
Yeah.
4?
There's 2 folk. How about that?
2 people in this block,
And that's what you moved over into?
the 2.
Okay.
Now this one down
Well-
here has 10, or I mean 9.
Well,
But, I don't know if there's an issue there, so,
I bet if you moved this, is that 25 folk?
yeah,
That'd probably break over 10%, wouldn't it?
it'd push it up there.
If it pushed up.
We said we had a wiggle room of plus
If you
minus
look at it
30.
bigger like that, it's pretty contiguous.
But it's not, wouldn't be necessary, just if you thought it would be, then you make it a little, it's still kind of a peninsula coming off, but it's not a big deal.
But it helps those 2 people out, no?
It's just one of your standards is compactness. I'm not sure.
There's also
I bet you
a
those are the people that live.
trailer court on 207 Carter Valley Loop. And half of the trailer park is in District 3 and the other half is in District 4. It's split, the trailer park is.
Now this looks kind of strange, you have all these, roads here, but only, you have no population.
That's,
That's the
that's-
aggregation plant.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so,
supposed to
yeah,
be
those
fence.
could go anywhere in terms of, what district.
They got 3 people living in the Holston ammunition plant. I wonder if they know that.
No,
Yeah,
They got a lot
that's
of turkeys and
underground or
deers.
something.
the big
I'd
chunk.
like to say, well, where to go deer hunting?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to, pump up somebody's area, you could just throw that in there.
Can you look at 207 Carter Valley Loop?
It's,
That's not saying work,
Carter's
Carter
Valley
Valley Loop,
Loop.
and it's Rogersville.
What was the street name, number?
207. Okay, that's a trailer park, and we have lots 1 through 4 are in District 4, and lots 6 through 25 are in District 3.
Is that a long road or?
And Carter Valley Loop. Is it a long road? Yeah, I don't know how long road is it? I don't think so.
It's back here, I guess.
Right there.
So this block is 106 people, it's a pretty big block.
Okay, so the trailer park, I don't know if it's, I don't know why it's divided, it got divided.
Probably that bottom part
Yeah.
coming out of Carter's Valley.
Yeah,
That bottom part's in
Okay.
4 and then the top part's in 3.
well, that's not good.
Looks like it's this area right here, you're exactly right. So, you actually have 3 blocks that are covering that area.
Okay.
So you could make some of them unhappy and some of them
Yes,
like on the other
yes,
thing.
yes, okay.
That's usually the way it happens.
Yeah.
You fix it for one person, you make 10 more people mad.
We don't wanna check, addresses of commissioners, do we? We don't wanna check addresses of commissioners.
That's Danny's, isn't it, Rick?
Yeah.
All right,
Well, I've got, this is Carter Valley Road, but I think it's the same thing. I've actually got 2 that's in Mount Carmel. That could, if we could switch them to District 3, Carter Valley. We have 5356 and 5362 Carter's Valley Road, Churchill,
Carter's Valley Road.
Carter's Valley.
Is that, just east or west or just regular?
It's just Carter's Valley Road.
And, let's see, is there an internet section near there or? That's a pretty long road, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very long.
And, give me that address again,
One is 5356, and the other one is 5362.
That's approximately, those are big blocks.
Okay.
That's approximately right here. And it's 104. So that'd be a big move from 3. If you moved it to 1, you'd probably still be in the 10%. Because they're not gonna change that much.
She had, 622 and 624 Lazy Lane that is Mount Carmel too, that she wanted to move to Carter Valley right there too. Lazy Lane.
Lazy Lane.
That don't even need a slow down.
Is that?
What's that carve out road?
That's, they're in Mount Carmel.
Yeah, this is, I guess, the city district.
Yeah, they don't pay city taxes. Something does that, Carter Valley and this Lazy Lane, these addresses don't pay city taxes.
So this one right here, we have 86 in that area inside the city. So if you pick it,
I got a question, and I know we're talking about blocks like that right there, but let's say, you know, like Chris was talking about there earlier, you know, just those people, I mean, could you not, you gotta move the whole block, you can't just move.
That's
Move
just,
the whole
yeah, you
block.
gotta move the whole block.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
See, that's just like the block that she was talking about in my district. I mean, it makes sense to go to the top of the ridge, not to go plumb from 11W to Choctaw,
Yeah.
you know, and
It's, a lot of counties will kind of swallow it and then get ready for the next one by actually working on those census blocks. I've had people draw blocks, you know, on contours of mountains. But you have to get ahead of the game because they start working on this.
you're talking about two entirely different areas when you're talking about Rogersville City on 11W and Choctaw. You know, I
But
mean,
you
why?
know, along that line, the people, it's like every other house pays city taxes and then others don't. So part of them are in the county, part of them are in the city, they're neighbors. So these two, that would be too much to move these.
Well,
District 1 from
Lazy
District
Lane,
3.
Lazy Lane, is,
And when you're saying, like, if we moved the block, that wouldn't just be moving these two addresses, that would be moving,
you'd have to move the block that they're in. So Lazy Lane is this one right here.
Why, I mean,
The city
I
should
understand
take care of
to
this.
the count, but why do you have to move a whole block when it don't make sense to?
That's,
it's the census block.
that's hey, that's a law.
That's the population.
Yeah, that,
Area that they figured out.
Yeah.
Within that area, there's 86 people.
the US Census, yeah.
And for example, we don't have authority to put half of them in one district, and half of them in another. I mean, that don't make good sense.
You gotta do the, you gotta move, you gotta do the whole block.
You would have to do, you would have to petition the census, and you would have to pay for a new population survey of your new blocks to find out who's in your new blocks.
Well, now tell me again, how was that determined that that was a block to start with?
Well, there are committees that kind of work on the census a few years ahead of time, and they review the blocks to make sure they make sense, and sometimes they're adjusted for city boundaries, or they're adjusted to be better. You know, ideally, they're something you can see on the ground, like a street, or like you say, a topographical feature like a mountain, something that, you know, is an obvious separation. And then, you know, you petition the census and they, if it's accepted, it's how they collected the data the next time.
It's not Oklahoma City.
In between, it's just about impossible.
I don't know Ken's ever done that. I did.
Well, you have to, you know, you have to redo the survey, and to come up with a different amount of people, then you change the population of the county, change the population of the state, change the population of the US, you know. This is sort of set in stone for official purposes, like redistricting.
They need to fix their city limit thing now, or they.
624 doesn't, but 622 is in the city.
Is in the city?
Yeah.
It's not, 624 is?
624 is in the county,
But do they
622
pay
is in the
city
city.
taxes?
Probably not.
That's what we're looking at. That's all we got to go on.
So besides Lazy Lane, is there another one?
I have one more, and it's 130 East Hill Street, Rogersville. They're in District 4, but they pay city taxes. Well, we're moving these blocks though, like, which I'm not moving these, but that's Base Mountain. So like this 130 is in District 4. But if there's 5 other people in that census block, you don't wanna move all of them just because this person doesn't pay city taxes, right? I mean, because you're just causing another problem.
Yeah, you're making one person happy and 4 potentially not happy, I don't.
Mike, where to get ready for the 2030 census, who do people talk to about these kind of problems that need to be fixed way ahead of time?
Well, the state, Office of Local Government, you know, they're the contact with census. And they actually have, you know, committees that start, and you can be part of that. I mean, I remember old CTAS stories where CTAS consultants like Rick would drive around with election people and commissioners and pick out mailboxes and streets for census boundaries. So it's a process that, you know, you can get involved in and do. And we can help you. We can help you kind of draw maps to see what the population of, you know, you can roughly estimate if you cut a block in the house half and look at where the houses are in the area, and you can figure out what's going on. So, yeah,
It
you
would
definitely
really help as far as ballots.
Yeah.
Have these special ballots for 2 people, or, you know.
Yeah, and you have, you know, with lots of rural areas, you have, you're working with things that may not make sense now when they did, you know, when they were first created. But it's, if you look at the blocks from the last census to this one, you'll see that some have changed based on things like cities and highway development, things like that. So it happens whether you're involved in it or not. So you should get involved. So one more address, or you decided that?
We'll see what it is.
What?
130
East Hill.
East Hill Street, Rogersville. They're in District 4. I just want to see if, I mean, it would just be them, if they just moved into District 5.
I don't think they're on them now, they could be on them now, but let me see if I can find the address. I'm sorry, it's
Oh. 130 East Hill Street, Rogersville.
How do you spell her name?
Allred.
Okay. Street looks like, curves around right here. You're on, I'm approximating there. They're in one now?
They are in 4 now.
Oh, they're in 4, so, well, this one says there's 0 blocks here.
And we were want, I mean, if you could just, are they on a census block all by themselves? Or would
This
it be taking
census
more?
block here has 3. Looks like it's a little farther down, which we have addresses, but, it's at this house right here. It doesn't look like this parcel has a house on it. Trying to say, well, it's back here. The road a little bit. Is that it, right there? Would you say this house right here? Trying to approximate with not very good road maps sometimes.
Yeah, it sits off the road. But I mean, if it, I don't want to take anybody else and put them in 5 if they're supposed to be in 4.
It's hard to say. I have that road, not Brownlee, I think. It looks like it's this block here, if they're in 4, and it has 3 people.
Yeah, but would that mess up the other, unless that's all of them that live there, it might be a,
According to this,
3 now.
this whole block here sort of has 3 people.
Well, the reason we were gonna move it is just because they are in the city limits and pay city taxes.
I think probably what happened was when, I think they bought this property from someone else, and that person, I think, wanted to be in the city, and so the city took them in.
No,
But, I mean, the city, but they're in the city
Oh,
limits.
yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to be in the city, but I think that was the precinct.
Oh, is that one up there?
I thought that was,
Okay.
yeah.
And there's somebody in North Brownlee that would be back in the city. And it might be this block over here, it says 0, but it's closer to the end. I can't exactly tell you from this map, I'm afraid, but if you want me to.
130 East Hill Street.
I would say it's closer to that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
130 East Hill Street's in the county.
Do they pay city taxes? That's what we have to look at, we have to look at property.
I doubt it, I mean, they're considered county.
Yeah,
Not
and
in the
they
city.
are, they're in Rogersville North right now. So that makes them have to go to Joseph Rogers. Right?
Yeah, but they're paying city taxes.
They're getting a special ballot right now. That we do, and then,
The entrance of their driveway is off Rogersville City, but their property is in the county.
So, should they be paying city taxes?
Thank you, that's-
showing that they're
Sewer
paying
lines and
city
water lines
taxes.
along the road. Property doesn't always make it into the city.
She did take a little bit.
Screen for the road, city, it's where the driveway starts, city ends after the driveway.
But what they're saying is that the city has picked up and, I don't know, you know, it's a
Do you have a business card?
Everything that's got there.
Do you
Yeah.
have a business card?
and that's what
If
I'm
that's all
saying.
of us, but it'd be county services to the city.
Yes. I do understand that, because I've talked to you more than once about roads and stuff.
Yeah, that's,
God, what is my notebook?
Like to say, yeah, but it ain't all those people. I don't know.
Oh, here it is.
Somebody else having to go.
Mhm.
And have to do a special, you know, that would be easy. Or have someone go on there.
Oh, damn, I can start rolling it up for sure. The house is-
Is your
Yeah.
the MY and EY.
EY.
Okay. I'll follow it, yeah.
Oh, pretty good.
I don't know. I could do. How it's in there.
So do we wanna put them, move their block or not?
Can we,
Can we move it now and then if we have to, change it back?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Because it's only,
If it's just three, I'm thinking that's probably another person registered on that address.
I would have to guess from the other map, that they're in the 0 block, which doesn't make sense. If they're in the 3 block, there's another house around me, so.
Could I get back with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll check all that tomorrow.
Are you participate in the census?
Yeah, that's very possible.
The truth.
if you come out, do it.
And they end up paying more taxes because of it. So if I'm looking at, I can't sign into my aerial map on the other one for some reason, but this, well, this house looks like it's already in the city. If it's the same one,
I don't think that's it. The one
no,
is on up in there.
it's
It's,
in
yeah,
the vegetation somewhere.
Yes,
There's
yes.
one off of
That's
here.
it's right,
Is it this one right here?
It's this one.
so that is the city.
That is already in the district then.
So you're showing it in District 5.
It's in District 5, yes. And in the city boundary. Did you give Rick your address?
I've got it right here.
Let me, if you want, you can email me or I can write it down.
I'll just email it.
Okay, let me pull it. Give you an address here. Anybody that wants a PDF of this, just give me an email. Simplest one is mmyers@utk.edu.
M. Myers?
MMEYERS.
UTK?
utk.edu.
Say that one more time.
Two M's,
Okay.
EYERS.
You see,
And
Okay, yeah, I just looked.
University of Tennessee, Knoxville, UTK. I should have them send it. You should get them. You should get these addresses. I'm retired, I only check my email once a week. And I can send you a PDF, and you can, it'll be a special PDF with layers. You can check, roads on and off, and you can zoom in on it. You know, I'll put the block numbers on there too, block populations, so. City boundaries, commissioner addresses.
Ready for live?
Can it
Yep.
include that map? When it's on the big one there?
Yeah, we can just send you a copy of that big map,
That'd be great.
and you can zoom in on that.
That'd be great.
It has a lot of features on it.
This hard copy, where do I put this at? In Jim's office?
Take it.
Is he still back there?
Yeah, he's still back there.
Y'all gotta pay him some overtime.
Yeah, that's called the, it's called the work map. In the old days, we spread it out on the table,
Right.
but, it's in a format you could actually print it out big, but you can also zoom in on it. It's this one right here. It takes a long time to draw, but I'll send you that too.
Hey, what's that,
I'm sorry.
you remember before I retired, you kept saying, I'm gonna come up to your office, we're gonna talk about this one address.
What it wasn't that in a different district, it was where they was having to go vote. The people on Spruce Pine Road there that lived right on, off 11W were having to drive past Morrisburg School going to Lakeview to vote. I don't know if we ever got it took care of, I thought we did.
So the only two changes were the peninsula and then the one on Bays Mountain Road.
It's just,
And
it's just
then
a
there's
vote.
an area,
Need to change, it wasn't nothing about district.
But this is just like the one, I've got his address, and that was the James Life. They own 459 Bays Mountain Road.
Right.
And he lives up above Laurelland Park. Rogers, got a Rogersville address. But he was talking about he had to go by McPeter's Bend to go to Kepler or somewhere down that area to vote.
That happens all over the county.
I didn't
She said
realize.
that.
That's the
You know,
peninsula.
last meeting,
Yeah, that's what I meant by
Oh,
peninsula.
okay. I thought you meant this area down here.
And then the Bays Mountain Road.
yeah, the Bays Mountain Road, yeah, you're right.
Two changes
Call
changes.
them, call the commission.
so far.
That's it.
Okay.
That we actually
Both of them.
committed.
That may be true, that's the reason he called me about it, yeah, man.
It's over on watching Jeff, Jeff probably, you can blame Jeff.
I'll blame Jeff with it.
What did I do now?
I knew you thought about that, I thought, how coincidental, if you talk about it, then the next day I get a call about it.
I mean, you've got, Allenwell that votes there, you know, we had to move it from Rock Hill Grocery out to Streersville Fire Department. So all the people that have to vote for Joseph Rogers that come off Caney Creek have to pass the voting location there.
And see, that ain't really even in the district, they're having to
No,
drive
they're not
out
in
of
the
the
district,
district.
but you have to get special permission from the
Every so
state.
many miles.
But there was nowhere out there,
It was safe.
yeah. The officer used to have to go out in the middle of the highway in a blind curve to make a phone call to the office and check on something. That wasn't real safe.
No, it's not.
Or is there anything else we need to talk about tonight? We need to set a date for another meeting. Finalize, I think, Crystal, you got stuff you want to be looking at and finalize and,
That's all I got answered to that.
well, are we good to settle this tonight then?
No,
Okay.
I don't look at mine, but I know mine's not gonna change a lot, but it could change a little bit, yeah.
Okay, well, that's, we got time, I mean, it's not, it don't have to be tonight. You wanna go ahead and set another meeting right now? Today's the 21st, we just need to get this done, we'll have to have this in, the 11th, to have it in for the resolution. That's the second Monday. If we wanna have it done by October.
I won't be here, the 11th through the 15th.
Will it have to be turned in?
Yeah, I'll be here before that.
It'll have to be turned in
It needs to
to
be done the week before.
the mayor's office.
Now, I will send PDFs and we'll Excel table, so if you wanna do your own kind of calculations to do this, deviation thing, so you add some blocks, you can do that. That'd be great. And we're just looking at 10%, either way.
Mike, I was telling them also, I guess we need to get them the resolutions. We've got some samples, you'll have to fill it in like the number of commissioners did, we got them in Dropbox. We can send that, but we'd be glad to help fill it in and send it to you, y'all just, it's gonna take you 5 minutes to fill in information. Just let me know who we can send it to. Just give us your email, or do I need to send it to Jim, or do I?
Send it to Keith, probably.
Yeah, Keith, just give me your email address.
Before we leave, I will do that.
Actually, give me your phone number too, let's talk before I send it, so,
Okay.
and then,
Just to summarize, I'm gonna circle the only areas we changed. See if it's
can't
your
you just write this
recollection.
down? Phone number, if it's okay. phone
Yeah,
number,
it's fine, it's,
And I'll,
Your next election commission is when, next election commission.
well, we've got county commissioners and voting precincts, right?
Start over.
Both happy with everything.
Well, the voting precincts, I guess, you're gonna work in those to conform with new boundaries, if necessary. We didn't really talk about those.
Do we need to come back and meet with the election commission? Crystal, Don,
No, not yet. Not till we get this,
not get your districts,
not
then,
till we get the district.
and
list.
then you'll give me a call,
Yes.
we'll, all right.
okay, what about the date we were talking about? You say you're gonna be gone the 11th?
11th through the 15th.
Well, is Tuesday night a good night of October? October 5th. Is that, anybody have any trouble with that?
Same time.
I'd say same time.
Do y'all need us here too? Or y'all got enough data, you okay?
I want to ask Crystal her opinion on this. This is her
I mean,
Dawn.
if we stay with sort of what you've got now, I think we're okay. But now if we start moving more lines, it's gonna be a problem.
Depending on what Rick's recommendation is gonna be, it could affect some of the others.
Well, I know my area's still gonna be big, no matter what, we
Right.
can't help it being
But
big, but.
since there is a time constraint, if you gentlemen could come back in case there's something that did come up.
What date is that?
October 5th, Tuesday.
box ink pen and hear the car. Is it 6 o'clock again?
Yes. Unless you needed to change, I mean, I don't know where you're traveling from.
I think the next redistricting meeting Mike and I have is on the 27th. I think that date's okay for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay with me.
Okay.
Same place right here?
Same place. Okay, so we got our next meeting set for October 5th, 6 o'clock. And does anybody else have anything else they want to ask before we do adjourn? I appreciate y'all coming up here and appreciate everybody that showed up, including you, Jeff.
All right.
So, I guess we are adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.